hate people like you.
Wow, that would be a good way to start the podcast.
Dude, I've been getting songs stuck in my head all day because of people like you. Just randomly singing songs. It's like, great, now this is stuck in my head.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 2 of Primetime and Todd talk about Hearthstone and other games. But so far it's just been Hearthstone. Today we are here to talk about the news of them killing Patron Warrior.
Not killing it, they're just nerfing.
They are killing it.
Oh, you weren't.
Okay. Well, alright, for those of you who don't know, Patron Warrior, well, if you don't know what Patron Warrior is, you obviously haven't played Hearthstone in the last year. Or at least since Blackrock Mountain came out.
Which was a year ago in 1 month, so 11 months ago.
Really? I didn't think it was quite that long ago.
Yeah. Wait, no, actually it was back in April. Never mind.
Yeah, I thought it was sometime. Yeah, because Nax was like a year ago. It was... Yeah. No, it was in like July of last year. Anyway, I don't know.
It was right when I moved. That's what it was.
So, what Patron Warrior does is it brings out these really annoying patrons. And as you can see on screen right now, whenever it gets damage and survives, you summon another one. Well, so in Warrior, with cards like Whirlwind and cards like Death's Bite, you can sometimes create several in a turn. Well, the way that they're killing this card is by nerfing the Warsong Commander. As you can see on screen right now, Warsong Commander, whenever you summon a minion with 3 or less attack, you give it charge. Well, today, Blizzard has announced that they are nerfing Warsong Commander in next Tuesday's patch. And Warsong Commander will now read, your charge minions have +1 attack. So, that absolutely kills Patron Warrior.
That doesn't kill Patron Warrior, though.
Patron Warrior went from being Patron and Warsong as the set piece to now maybe playing Patron as like a one-off in a couple of decks.
So, no, the way this is going to change is it's going to make it so Patron Warrior is now a combo deck in the sense of magic combo decks. So instead of saving all your cards, turn 7, dumping your hand, and going to the face, instead it's going to be, I can play Patron whenever I want, I just have to be able to trigger some kind of whirlwind effect.
Yeah.
So ideally, your turn 4 will probably be... your turn 5 will probably be Patron, swing face with Death's Bite, Whirlwind, go to 2 patrons, and then the following turn, try to swing.
Yeah.
Ideally, the only board wipe that can still handle this is Flamestrike.
Yeah. I mean, you also have like Inner Rage, which is 0 mana, deal 1 damage to a minion, give a +2 attack. I mean, you've got Cruel Taskmaster, which does the same effect, only on a 2/2 body for 2 mana. So, I mean, yeah, there are still ways to get patrons on board. There's still ways to get Fatal with Patron on board. Only now, instead of being a tier 1 deck like it's been for ever, I think, it's now maybe going to be a tier 2 or 3 deck, because it doesn't have the possibility for that turn 8 burst damage that just kills your opponent by doing like 15 to him, 20, right. 30.
And instead of going full burst, it's gonna be more of an actual fair deck.
See, they needed to nerf Patron Warrior. I just don't think that this was the way to do it.
So this actually does two things. This both makes Warsong this change was effective in two ways. This gives Patron Warrior less presence, and it gives aggro more of an ability to become a deck again.
Yes, because we didn't have enough aggro decks already. We needed more.
Warrior aggro.
No, we did not. Warrior for a long time has been either control or patron. Sometimes dragon control, but not really. That's not really a thing yet.
Idiot.
I think that that's like a tier 3 deck right now, Dragon Warrior, and I build it different than normal people.
So I mean, going through the warrior cards themselves, the Warsong Commander is going to pair with Korkron Elite. It's going to pair with, you know, the Wolf Rider.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of charge minions. I mean, you could maybe even throw like a dragon or two in for some top heavy, and then run Alexstrasza's champion. Like, there are some serious... Oh my god, it's gonna work with Grom.
Oh, Jesus.
That's terrifying.
Well, not...
Because now Grom is gonna be a 5 attack before he's enraged, so +6. He's gonna be an 11 attack instead of 10.
So I mean, you're gonna have to.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to stick a Thosser in return.
Yeah, I mean, you either have to Emperor or coin up or something, and like no one's gonna hold a coin to turn 10.
No one's gonna hold a coin to get 1 extra damage on Grom.
Yeah, it's not that important. Grom wins games anyway. You don't really need to coin it out and everything. Well, lucky for us, I already had a Patron Warrior deck built. So, let's take a look at what this deck is.
Now, wait a second. This change.
Mm-hmm.
Your charge minions have +1 attack.
Yes.
There's a card in Warrior that gives a minion +2 attack and charge.
That's terrifying. Because you're right.
You can drop Warsong Commander turn 3. Turn 4, drop a pithy little something.
Yeah, 3 mana. The card is titled Charge. Give a friendly minion +2 attack and charge.
But it costs 3 mana?
Yeah, so, okay. I mean, fourth turn, what minion has, what 1-drop has charge? Let's take a look.
I mean, you can drop down fucking Leper Gnome. Leper
yeah,
Gnome,
you
give
could
it charge and go fucking 5 in the face.
That's actually not bad. And then you've got Stone Tusk Boar that has charge.
Southsea Deckhand.
Yeah, Southsea Deckhand will probably work pretty well with Warrior.
I mean, that's the thing. With charge, you don't have to find minions that have charge.
That's true. I guess
you can drop. Yeah, you can drop like. I think the best drop is honestly probably going to be Leper Gnome.
Probably just because it's fucking Leper Gnome. It's already a good card. In my opinion, by far the best 1-drop.
I would say it's tied with Argent Squire, but it's pretty high up there.
Or, I mean, you could Zombie Chow, but that would be stupid because
All the
Chow
damage
sucks.
I've done to you is now gone.
Yeah, I don't like Zombie Chow in, like, any deck. I'll run it in a couple decks, but I don't like it.
You know what shitty combo's coming? Someone's gonna play Ancient Watcher, silence it, and then give it charge and +2. And then, like, stack Inner Rage and shit.
Oh, God. If I ever lose to that, I'm gonna be so ticked. Yeah, so on screen right now, you can see my Grim Patron deck. It's not the exact tier 1 list that people run, but it's the same general idea. It's pretty much the same. I mean, the goal is to draw cards early game, control the board early game, drop something like Acolyte of Pain and try to get a draw or 2 off of it. And then basically turn 6, you want a Thrasin no matter what. make your patrons cheaper, make your Warsong Commander cheaper, and then play everything turn 7 and just wreck your opponent. And
so yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was saying, and it works like that pretty often.
So yeah, and the deck has a backup plan in Frothing Berserker.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, if your opponent has some minions on the board, you drop Frothing Berserker, go combo, start AoEing everything down, get Frothing Berserker to a bunch of health, and charge attack in the face.
Yes, because Frothing Berserker, it starts with 2 attack, and that's all it needs to trigger Warsong Commander. Because it triggers Warsong Commander when it's played, so it will... so you played at 2 mana, or 3 mana, excuse me, at 2 attack, you combo, you whirlwind, you generally destroy your opponent's board, and Frothing is going to get +1 attack for every minion that got damaged. So, you're going to end up getting... I mean, I've seen in one turn Frothings get up to like 10 or 12 attack. It can be really ridiculous if...
Yeah, I've seen higher than that too. It just gets disgusting quick.
Yeah. So... And I mean, in some ways, that's actually what you want to do. That's actually more of a win condition than just putting 50 patrons on board.
10. 10 is max.
I thought 7 was max.
Maybe it's 7. It's probably 7.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. Because the deck is dead.
Well, the deck is dead as of next week.
Yeah. I'm going to probably grind Patron Warrior as much as I can this week, just as like a rest in Patron kind of move.
So, to be honest with you, Patron is either going to be reinvented as poke the Patron, buff the Patron, or it's going to be gone.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
It's going to be exactly like Miracle Rogue was. They nerfed Leroy, which really, really, really hurt the deck. But it didn't completely kill it. If they nerf anything else in this deck, it's going to finish killing it. Like, if they nerf Patron for some reason. Which...
I think if they were targeting it, they would have nerfed Patron.
See, I think they were more effective at killing this deck by nerfing Warsong. Because if they had made Patron, just for instance, if they had made it cost 6 mana, or if they had made it a 2/2, or like even a 2/3, or something like that, it would still have been a thing. It would have been the same deck, only the win condition would have been even more reliant on Frothing Berserker.
Pretty much what this tells us is that when they made Warsong Commander, they were saying this card is for aggro. This card is intended for people that play low attack creatures a lot, going straight to the face. And now they were like, okay, well, this has been abused to make a combo deck, which we did not see, did not want, and now we're going to change it so it's actually back into just aggro decks.
Yeah. I think you're right about that. I think they did intend for it to be an aggro card. Because, I mean, this is actually the second time Warsong has been nerfed. The first time, the original text on it was, when you summon a minion, give it charge. And then, I think it was during the beta, they decided, okay, no, that's retarded. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make it, if it has 3 or less attack. So... So, I mean, this card has been nerfed twice, and I don't see them nerfing it a third time after this give charge minions +1 attack, because they're obviously so intent on just making aggro completely control the meta so that it's the only deck that anyone plays. And if you watched the last podcast, you know I am not in favor of having so many aggro decks.
I've never heard someone bitch about aggro decks as much as he does.
I know. But it's true. Aggro is fine in very small doses, but when it's 90% of the meta... Because, I mean, that's the thing, is now that there's no Patron, which is definitely a mid-range combo deck, maybe even borderline control combo deck, without Patron Warrior, you're taking that out of the meta and you're adding another aggro deck. Because I think they made +1, give your charge minions +1 attack. I think they made that good enough that they are going to actually make basically an all-charge version of a aggro warrior. I really think they will. So
basically Face Hunter, but without the... I don't think it'll happen. Like, it might, but I think it'll be too reliant on Warsong. Like, right now, there's no aggro warrior, because Warsong Commander is the only thing keeping that combo together.
yeah.
So if they take out all of the minions that relied on Warsong for charge, just throw in charge minions, we're still looking at an incomplete deck, or a deck that has a lot of glaring weaknesses.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the other reason why Face Hunter works so much better than, you know, a Face Warrior deck is going to work is because Face Hunter, if a turn comes when you don't have a good draw, if you don't have something to play, you can always hit him for 2 damage in the face with his hero power. Whereas Warrior has a defensive hero power, where you're gaining 2 armor.
There's actually like 4 reasons that Face Hunter works and Face Warrior would not. The first one being Steady Shot, as you said.
Yeah.
The second one is Unleash the Hounds.
Yeah.
Most people underestimate the power of Unleash the Hounds. It is a really strong card, and it really turns everything around. The third part would be Explosive Trap coupled with Mad Scientist is a potent combo.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of ridiculous.
And then you have Hand Reload through Quick Shot, and you have immediate kill through Kill Command. I mean, you can burst people down from what, 15 health just by throwing down Unleash the Hounds and double Kill Command.
Yeah, potentially.
And Warrior has nothing that can...
Warrior doesn't have that kind of burst.
Add the synergy of Eaglehorn Bow, which gets +1 durability for every secret that gets popped on your side, and you've got a weapon that's refreshing itself almost every turn. I mean, the weapon gains its durability back almost as fast as you spend it.
Yeah, so that's 3 damage every turn, plus 2 damage for the hero power every turn.
I mean, you could say that Warrior has a stronger weapon in Death Spite. I'll give you that. That's very obvious. But if you're running minions that are gaining +1 attack off of charge from Warsong Commander, then charge minions have a history of having low health.
Yeah. So
you can't run Death Spite. You'll kill your own minions.
Yeah, you'll kill your own minions because they only... Because, I mean... What do we got here on charge minions? Stone Tusk Boar is 1 health.
Yeah, Stone Tusk Boar. Wolf Rider.
Yeah, Wolf Rider
is a 3/1. South Sea Deckhand is a 2/1.
Mm-hmm. Arcane Golem can survive. Leroy could survive, but I mean...
Okay, but Arcane
Leroy
Golem...
is totally a separate thing.
Yeah. Arcane Golem, though, that's already a minion on the top end, almost, of charge decks.
Yeah. And I mean...
3 mana for a 4/2, this thing is perfect.
Yeah, Argent Horse Rider is a 1 health minion, but it has Divine Shield, so it doesn't...
Yeah, but I mean, that's kind of a problem as well, though.
Yeah.
You drop that minion is not intended to go face. That minion comes down, its intent is to kill a minion, and then next turn still present the threat.
Yeah.
I mean, we might be able to see things like... I don't even know. Like, if this deck actually works out, if these changes come through and an aggro warrior forms, then it's going to be a completely strange... We might even see Murlocs.
Oh god, no one wants to see Murlocs.
Nobody wants the Murloc. No one expects the Murloc position. Nobody wants to see the Murloc position. God damn it.
Sorry. Sorry, bro.
Don't apologize to me, apologize to my viewer.
You have a viewer?
I have a viewer.
Oh, that's cool. I don't know if I have any viewers or not. I haven't looked.
So, looking through here, there's actually not a lot of charge minions.
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough to actually make an entire deck. So, if a deck did pop up that was charge, it's gonna have to be filled with some kind of mechanical slot. Oh dear God, I will kill you.
What do you
I
mean?
just saw you click Leroy. So, actually, with this change, Leroy goes back to his glory.
Yeah, because Leroy becomes a 7 attack minion.
He becomes a 7 attack
fifth
minion.
turn.
If you have Death's Bite already, turn 3 Warsong, turn 4 Death's Bite, turn 5 Leroy.
Game
you
over.
Swing face, that's 14 damage right there, and Death's Bite explodes and clears the fucking wells.
So let me see here. That would be 3rd turn Warsong, 4th turn Death's Bite, hit for 4 plus 2 with Warsong, so that's 6. Next turn you will hit for 2 with Warsong, 4 with Death's Bite. That's 6. That's 12 plus 7 from Leroy. So that's 19. That may not absolutely be game, but it's going to be pretty darn close.
Especially if they're not dealing with your charge minions before then.
Yeah. So,
oh my god, you know what would be perfect? Nefarian in this deck.
Nefarian?
Drop Nefarian against the Hunter.
Oh my god.
Get Unleash the Hounds. Unleash with Warsong on the field. Watch everyone cry. Oh shit, dude.
Well, Jake, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
You know me, I love theory crafting decks and such, and aggro is just a wide pool of every card. But no, in all honesty, I think the top end for aggro is going to be either Grom or Dr. Who.
Yeah, of course. Which, I mean, that hasn't really changed.
Right.
I mean, creating an aggro warrior is possible, but... And I mean, I guess that's part of the intention of this, because aggro warrior is never going to be as strong as patron warrior. Ever.
Well,
no matter what.
I disagree. With some of the tools that warrior has already, it can make a really potent burst combo. With things like Cruel Taskmaster, Inner Rage, Warsong Commander now buffing. I mean, that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And you're legitimately excited about Leroy again.
That's no, well, outside of Leroy, that's a 4-point damage boost on anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's not insignificant when you're using minions that have charge innately.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit legitimately excited for Leroy to come back.
Yeah. And I mean, you can always run things like Heroic Strike, which second turn gives your hero +4 attack. I mean, that's so much better than hero powering second turn.
Yeah.
Especially in an aggro type meta.
So, what I think we're going to see is it's going to be a little bit of control to keep the board clear of taunt and shit like that. Give yourself some armor. And then we're going to see Miracle.
Yeah.
I think the deck is essentially going to Miracle Leroy, Inner Rage, Cruel Taskmaster, you know, anything that's going to just super buff Leroy. And they're going to try to swing for lethal in one punch.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, it's a terrifying thought with... It's a terrifying thought with everyone having already seen and feared Miracle Rogue. But it's a very real It's a very real deck idea. And I think once this actually happens, I don't think Frothing Berserker has a place in this deck.
I'm actually building this deck right now.
I know, I'm watching you.
I teched in one Frothing just because you've still got Death's Bite. I mean, you're still going to be doing a little bit of damage to yourself. But, I don't know. You could be right about whatever it's called, Frothing.
So, ideally, I really think it's gonna come down to the Leroy combo. Leroy's gonna come down. You're gonna want an Abusive Sergeant, Inner Rage, Cruel Taskmaster, everything to make this the beefiest sumbitch you can.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with my mouse, but this double-clicking thing is really annoying.
Are you really just trying to fill this with as much charge as you can?
Yeah, I really am. We'll leave out Argent Horse Rider or whatever it's called for now.
Coliseum Manager.
It returns itself to your hand, doesn't it?
Minion.
And it's Inspire.
I thought it was return target minion to your hand. I was really excited for a second there. I was like, dude, we've got a fucking Leroy combo right there.
Yeah, no.
Damn.
I'm sorry. I know you were looking forward to that.
I was a very big fan of Miracle Rogue, so to see anything like that, I was really kind of awesome. You could try Armored Warhorse. I mean, that's technically a thing.
Armored Warhorse?
Yeah.
I don't think the deck is gonna have a high enough curve for that, though.
Yeah, it probably depends on where the meta ends up going.
No, that's true. So,
yeah, I mean, we do have a lot of 0 and 1 drops, so probably
it's
not.
true.
I mean, I really think old Murkai. I'm thinking people are gonna try a Murloc deck with this.
I think this is the list. I really do.
Commander. What's your top end? I mean, you've got Grom,
Gromash, Gore Howl, Leroy, and Reckless Rocketeer.
I would say drop Rocketeer and pick up
Like
Argent
Boom.
Commander.
Argent
or
Commander? Argent Commander...
4/2 charge Divine
Yeah,
Shield.
I see it.
Goes up to a 5/2 Divine Shield, and it's already effective for its cost, right? Like, it only costs 4, doesn't it? No, 6.
No,
so
it's a 6 drop.
Yeah, so it's actually behind.
It's a little heavy.
Yeah.
Could always just throw Rag in, just because it's Rag.
I think if we're trying to fill that last slot, it should probably just go to Doc Boom. Like, he's still
Probably.
Dr. Balanced.
Yeah. I think that is the list.
I still don't agree with Frothing Berserker, and honestly, Charge makes me kind of nervous. Like, I feel like we can drop Charge, pick up more Charge minions, and have the innate Charge already. Because if you're looking at comboing with Leroy, then you're looking at dropping Leroy. Are you serious right now?
Oh, I keep telling it to snooze. That's why it keeps going off.
So, ideally, you're going to drop... If you're trying to combo with Leroy, it'll have to be turn 8. You drop Leroy, give it the charge for a +2. So that's 8, 9.
I see your point, yeah.
Inner Rage brings it up to 11. Yeah, and you've got no mana to do anything else. I feel like we could find something more...
cost
more
effective.
efficient. Yeah. Like, the rest of it seems fine. I'm a little iffy on Heroic Strike, but I can see the point of it. You're going to need some early removal.
Yeah, gonna need early removal, potentially burst damage into the game.
So, if we go back to the Warrior list, to the Warrior cards, are there any Warrior cards that charge that you don't have?
Any Warrior cards with charge? No.
That you do not have, okay.
No. I left out the cute little Mac. Yeah. I mean, Alex draws his champion, but I'm not putting any dragons in this deck, so there's no point.
Right.
It wouldn't get the charge, so.
Hang on, I'm loading mine up now.
I guess I could always add in an Ogre Warmaul. Just because that's 4 damage each turn.
I don't know. I think the 50% chance to miss is kind of bad.
Yeah. Because, I mean, this deck, you're just hoping your opponent can't deal with your board.
Yeah, so, like, looking at this, already you can tell there's cost-efficient cards and there's not. Like, charge, +2 attack and charge, okay, that sounds fine. But then you look at bash. Deal 3 damage, gain 3 armor. That's immediately a better card.
Yeah. It
and
is.
it costs the same.
Yeah. Yeah, the reason that I went with charge, which apparently I took charge out, awesome. I only intended to take 1 out. But I want the golden one.
Of course you do. So, let's see. Warsong Commander,
Mortal Strike might be a thing. I mean, it's a spell, but if you have 12 health or less, which, I mean, depending on what kind of deck you're facing, you could potentially get pretty low. And you're dealing 4 to 6 damage. But, I mean, that's 4 mana, so no, never mind.
Yeah, that's too high on the curve.
Yeah.
Probably need to run execute.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's going to be something with taunt in there that's going to be a problem.
Actually, that curve doesn't look too bad now, but does it have enough damage? Is it strong enough? I mean, the Inner Rage and Taskmaster are both in there for the sole purpose of either setting something up for execute or hitting Leroy or Arcane Golem or maybe Cockrom Elite, Core Cron Elite, whatever the hell it's called. Or, I mean, Boom or Gromash or something. Because that's the thing, you can't count out the power of Inner Rage Gromash.
Yeah.
You can't count that out, because that buffs him to 12 without Warsong on board. That's pretty intense.
I don't know, it's going to be very weird to see what happens. And there's some cards that I saw that, like Iron Beak Owl is damn near mandatory in the meta.
Yeah, it is.
So we'd have to find room for that, which would be a cut for that last charge, or probably Bluegill Warrior.
I like the idea of Gore Howl, though. Just because it's, you know, it kills any minion you need it to, or does 7 to the face to finish the game. Either way.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not amazing, but it's not bad.
It's good enough for a one-off in this deck.
I feel like, yeah, that should be fine. We need at least 1 owl. Because you can't afford to be running something into Abomination. The hell is that called?
Or a Sludge
Belcher.
Sludge Belcher, or actually Abomination.
Yeah.
The one that's, what is it, a 5-drop, 4/4, when it
Blows
dies,
everything
deal
up.
2 to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for the aggro deck, I think the problem is going to be the same as it's always been. It's going to be Mage is going to fuck it. Paladin's probably going to be a hard matchup due to Consecrate, due to all the damage it does out. Yeah, I don't know exactly what form this list is going to take, honestly.
See, part of me wants to just play a game right now and test it, but we can't. Because I mean, I guess we could, but everything pretty much already has charge, so what good is Warsong actually going to do?
Right, you can't actually play it and test it.
Yeah.
And the patch has been confirmed to be coming out next week.
Okay. Well, I mean, we've just built Aggro Warrior.
We built Pauper Warrior.
And I think this is going to be pretty close to the list. I really do. So, I mean, it's got tools to get rid of the stupid minions. I mean, it's got one Iron Beak to deal with Sludge Belcher. That's not really enough. You really need a second one, but I don't really know what else to take out.
I would say cut one Bluegill Warrior. Or that last charge. The only minions you're running that don't have charge are Dr. Boo.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So.
Like, I was all for charge. I'm the one that brought it into your mind. I'm saying cut it now.
Yeah.
So.
That's probably a good point.
So the next question is, do we start dropping things into the typical aggro shell like Knife Juggler?
See, I have a really low opinion of Knife Juggler. The best thing that Knife Juggler does, unless you're like Unleashing the Hounds or Muster for Battle or something, the best thing that Knife Juggler does is absorb a Dark Bomb or whatever small removal that your opponent has. I'm really not a huge fan of Knife Juggler. I generally run it in rush decks just because it's a part of the list, and it does absorb some damage, but you gotta think, in this deck, all the minions are so small, they have such low attack, or such low health, that your opponent is gonna feel really bad about wasting a Dark Bomb on anything. So, I mean, pretty much anything in this deck, I mean, Korkrom Elite, Leroy, Arcane Golem, I guess, and Warsong are really the only acceptable Dark Bombs. So, I mean, anything else, you're basically getting your opponent to waste that Dark Bomb.
Yeah.
Like, do you really want to waste a Dark Bomb on a Leper Gnome? Do you really want to waste it on a Bluegill Warrior? No. You don't. I mean, you might get them to waste it on whatever you buff with Taskmaster. But actually, you pretty much have to hold Taskmaster until the end of the game. What the?
I hate you.
That's only like the 6th time my alarm has gone off.
Yeah, so I think Taskmaster is either going to be end of game or it's going to be...
I think Taskmaster we can
surrounding.
probably drop to a 1-off, now that I'm thinking about it. Because, I mean, you've already got the 2 Inner Rages. And like I said, those and Taskmaster are mainly, I think, going to set up for Execute.
So if we drop Taskmaster, what do we put in place? We need more damage to the face. I would say we either drop in Arcanine Reaper or something like Shield Block to give us a little bit more durability. Or Bash.
Bash might be good.
Bash is the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I think that's...
Armor.
Bash is just such a good card.
It really is.
Like, it's so awesome. Okay. Well, that's done.
But do we want to run one of a Bash, or do we want to go for 2 of them?
What else would we take out? I mean...
So, looking at this list, our weakest card now is probably...
Heroic Strike, I would think.
Heroic Strike or Death Smite.
But see, both of those serve the purpose of either clearing the charge minions, or clearing the taunt minions, or doing some decent burst to the face. So I hate to get rid of both of those. Or either of those, rather.
I don't like Death Smite just because, like we talked about, all of our
That's true. Everything is weak.
Yeah.
So yeah,
so
let's...
I feel like if we cut Death Smite, we can go to another Bash.
done.
Alright, yeah.
That's a weird curve.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we got a 5 on Leroy, so we're okay.
Yeah, we have 1, 5.
We have a lot of 2-drops.
Well, we have 8 2-drops and 8 3-drops.
Not too bad.
So, well, I mean, we have officially theory crafted the aggro warrior deck that's going to come out of the nerf to Warsong. We've discussed that they've absolutely murdered Patron, and the Patron is dead. Rest in Patron. I'm so excited that you came up with that name. I am totally stealing that, just by the way.
If you get any that you owe me. This is my
that is like your crowning achievement, was coming up with Rest in Patron.
Thanks. My crowning achievement in my life is coming up with a clever title.
Well, we don't even know what my crowning achievement is yet. Unless, I mean, this aggro warrior becomes like a tier 1 deck and I get credit for it because we came up with it on stream.
So I think the only changes we might see to this aggro deck are more card draw.
Yeah, definitely. Because there's no draw at all.
Yeah, we might see some shield blocks, we might see Acolyte of Pain.
Probably not Acolyte, it's too slow. I mean, yeah, it draws cards, but it's really slow.
If Acolyte does come, that means we'll see Deathbite and Whirlwind somehow.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think that's going to do it for episode 2. We've done some pretty solid theory crafting here. We've discussed how annoying this nerf is going to be. I think we've about covered it.
Yeah, I think we're good.
So, 45 minutes in, I think we're good.
So, before we end this, on one last little tangent, we are now officially, 2 weeks out from the Halo 5 launch.
Oh my god, yes.
So, between here and there, we need to do some kind of episode about Halo.
Yeah.
Because you know as well as I do, once Halo comes out, we are not going to want to...
My god, that was loud. If that was as loud as for everyone else as it was for me, I'm really sorry. That was my antivirus. As you all notice, we are men without beards now.
It sucks. I miss my
It does.
beard.
I hate not having a beard. But we had to set up for No Shave November by not shaving for the rest of October. So, alright. Well, I think we're going to call it right there. Thank you for watching. Make sure and check out Jake's stream at twitch.tv/ctod. And check me out on twitch.tv at Primetime CP23 and at Twitter by the same name. Have a good one.
See you later.